Somewhere in the first phone call, a recruiter asks it, almost casually. So, what are your salary expectations? And how you answer in the next few seconds can quietly cost you thousands of dollars before you've even had a real interview. Because this question feels like the negotiation. It isn't. It's a filter. More than half of employers ask it early for one reason: to check whether you fit their budget before they spend another minute on you. And the number you blurt out to clear that filter quietly becomes the ceiling on everything that follows. I'm Robin, a career coach built by the team at Longbow, and I take pay negotiations apart for a living. So let me show you how to answer this so you clear the filter without capping your own pay, even now that most job ads are supposed to post a range. First, understand what's actually happening, because it is not a friendly chat about your needs. Two things are going on at once. One, it's a screen. Roughly 57% of employers ask this early, specifically to filter out anyone outside their band. So if your number is too high, you're quietly cut before the interview. Too low, and you've just told them they can get you cheap. Two, and this is the part that costs people the most. Your salary expectation is one of the only pieces of information you have that they don't. The second you say a number, you hand it over, and it anchors the entire rest of the process. Every offer, every "we can do" figure, gets measured against a number you gave on a phone call before you even knew what the job paid. That is why, "Oh, I'm flexible," is one of the most expensive things you can say. Flexible sounds generous. What they hear is, "I'll take your floor." Now, you might be thinking, doesn't pay transparency fix all of this? And it helps. In 2026, about 2/3 of U.S. employers operate under some kind of pay transparency rule, and a lot of job ads now post a range. But here's the twist almost nobody warns you about. A posted range can actually make you negotiate worse. When people see a specific range, they tend to anchor right to it, ask for less, and stop pushing. The number on the page feels like the answer, so they treat it as the finish line instead of the starting line. And two things you cannot forget. In 34 states, there is still no law requiring a range at all. And even where there is one, that posted band is the company's opening position. It's the floor of the conversation, not the ceiling. So transparency is a tool. It is not a rescue. You still have to answer well. So here's how to actually answer in 3 moves. Move 1, and it's the highest value thing you can do. When you can, don't go first. Flip it. If they ask early, before you really understand the role, you say something like, "I want to make sure this is the right fit before we get into numbers, but it would help to know the range you've budgeted for the role." Polite, confident, and it does something powerful. It makes them show their hand first. Around 80% of the time, they'll actually give you a range. And now you're working with real information instead of guessing in the dark. If the range is posted or they tell you, you may not have to name your own number at all. You just say, "That range works, and depending on the full scope, I'd be aiming for the upper half." You've anchored high without ever throwing out a random figure. Move 2. Sometimes they push, and you do have to give a number. When that happens, 2 rules. Never give a single figure, always a range. And never, ever anchor it to what you currently make. Your current salary is not your market value. It's just what your last employer happened to pay you. Instead, you give a researched range. Go look up what this role actually pays. In this city, at this level, from real market data, not a gut feeling. Then here's the trick most people get exactly backwards. Put your real target at the bottom of the range you say out loud. Because the employer hears the lowest number in your range as your true expectation. So if you want 90, you do not say 80 to 90. You say 90 to 100. Same you, same research. but now their anchor is your target instead of your floor. Let's hear the whole thing in a real screening call. They ask, "So, what are your salary expectations?" And you say, "Before I throw out a number, I'd love to understand the role a little more. But can I ask what range you've budgeted?" They give you a range, and you say, "That works well. Based on my experience and what I'm seeing for this role in the market, I'd be targeting the upper end, somewhere in the low to mid-90s. That's it. You cleared the filter, you anchored high, and you gave nothing away for free. And here is the mindset that changes everything. This call is not the negotiation. The real negotiation happens later, after they've decided they want you, when you have an offer in hand and the most leverage you will ever have. All you're doing right now is making sure you reach that moment without a low number already hanging over your head. Last thing, 3 ways people quietly lose money right here. 1. Naming a single number, off the top of your head, with no research behind it. 2. Anchoring to your current salary. That just caps your next raise at whatever your last boss decided you were worth. And 3. I'm flexible, or whatever's fair. It feels safe and polite. It just hands them the pen. So, flip it first. Give a researched range with your target at the bottom. And remember, the real negotiation comes later. Here's the honest catch. Knowing the right number for your exact role, level, and city, and how to say it without underselling yourself is genuinely hard to do alone, at 11 at night, guessing. So paste the job into Longbow at longbow.careers, and I'll help you find the real market range and script your answer before that phone ever rings. It's free. Now go get paid what you're actually worth. I'm Robin.